the CFOs have shorter terms in their position. A lot of them actually relinquish the post after just short years. Why is this so in the past years? Is it because we are lacking in some things? Is it because of lack of education? Or is it a combination with being really, really difficult and the expectations are getting higher and higher for the CFOs?
The Philippines is, I guess, uniquely different. In the U.S. and in Europe, there's a 17% turnover, I think that's a study, of CFOs, more than the CEOs, because of, I guess, the market conditions. So that there is a lot of people wanting to go up, or they get promoted up, or they don't perform. In our case, it's a question of money. Our OFW phenomenon is not, we are not exempted from that. Our CFOs get pirated also a lot.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you go to Indonesia. All the middle managers, all the CFOs of most of the listed companies are Filipinos. You know, and you go to, for God's sake, Kazakhstan. Now, in the last couple of years, so many of our finance executives have gone to Kazakhstan because that's the boom. Oil is in demand. Now, a lot of our people have gone, for instance, to the what we call the tax haven countries, the Caribbean and the Mediterranean islands. There's a lot of Filipinos there, and most of them are in finance, in accounting.
And senior people.
When thinking about brain drain, you immediately think about our professionals here, our doctors, our nurses, our engineers, and now you're telling us that even the CEOs are being pirated. I was going to ask you about how our CFOs fare against the CFOs of other companies international, but with what you said, I would assume that we're right there. We're on par with everybody else internationally. That's why we're being. That's why our CFOs are.
So here, the turnover is mostly because of that. You get pirated up or out of the country.
Correct. And a lot of the CFOs, in fact, are so good that they are being promoted to become CEOs. So that's the stepping.
Is that a good thing? Is that a good thing for a CFO to be promoted to become the CEO of a company? Does it logically follow all the time?
As I said, that's the trend now.
Yeah.
Who is the first guy you hire and the last guy you fire? It's really your finance person. Because the first thing is investment. So you have to account for investments, and of course you have to liquidate the company. You also need a finance person. So,
okay. Mr. Francisco, let's talk about the search for the CFO of the year. What will be the criteria for judging if the CFOs are going to be nominated? What are you looking for?
Well, we're looking really for well-rounded individuals. There are lots of good number crunchers, but we need people who stand out, who've had exemplary careers, who've led their businesses, who've shown that, they've managed through difficult times and grown their businesses.
But to add to that, if you have the broad criteria, number one, of course, is competence. You want a guy who is competent. One who has a good reputation, integrity, is very important. The third would be stewardship. How is he able to manage to run the companies or his unit or his department? And then, of course, you need leadership. We're talking about leadership because that's the preliminary step to becoming a CEO. And at the end of this, all of this is to be encompassed with good ethical standards, adherence to very high ethical standards. So those, in very broad terms, are the criteria. And the last, and has now become very, I guess, very conscious about it, is social responsibility, social involvement. That has been added to a lot of measurements now.
Why the importance in social responsibility?
I hate to say that, because we cannot rely on the government. We have to move on our own. So I think this is the country. We have been very much well known for our NGOs and our private voluntary organizations. I started, of course, with the churches in the 70s because nobody wanted to give the government money. But that has spread all over the world. We have been a role model for that. And somehow, over the years, it has revolved around the persona of the CFO to find the funding, the right funding. Where can we get the extra money to do all these things that needed to be done? Either for our employees who are not really doing very well, or for the community where we operate. So that has been added.
In a sea of CFOs who are going to be nominated for this year, how does one stand out from everybody else? How would one be able to stand out?
Well, it's a tough question. There is our judging and the pre-screening committee has the work cut out for them, I suppose. But the basic criteria is, if he would put it, is number one would be, I would put leadership on top of that. Has he shown exemplary leadership? Involvement in the community goes to number two. But leadership, I think, would be very important. Because as you said in your beginning spiel, can he step into the shoes of the CEO?
Right.
And that requires leadership.
When you're going to be interviewing these nominees, are you going to talk to the people who work below the CEO, or especially in the rank and file, who
his boss? You have to talk to his boss.
His boss and his underlings.
Validate.
Okay. Tell us more about the when is the nomination going to end, sir? And when is the deadline?
Yeah, the deadline is September 15. Everybody could just go to finex.org.ph for the application forms, etc. Anybody could be nominated. Non-Finex members, listed or non-listed companies, anybody could be nominated. We just wanted a endorsement from a Finex member, and we'll take it from there.
And when is the winner going to be announced?
The awarding will be on October 23. That will be during the Finex week. That's a Thursday. It will be a big event. And hopefully by then, of course, we will not disclose who the other candidates are. No?
Right.
But I'm sure whoever will be awarded the second CFO of the year is going to be also a great person.
One more question, sir. Does the CFO have to be from a big company in order to win?
No. Anybody. It could be from a service industry. He could even just own a restaurant or a gondola in a. But if he's doing a fantastic job, then he would be considered.
Right. Okay. SMEs are welcome to.
Gentlemen, thank you very much. Mr. Eduardo Francisco, Finex President, and Greg Navarro, the Chairman of the Finex Good Governance Committee. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for having us.
Thank you.
On Mornings at ANC tomorrow, we'll be talking with the Foundation for Worldwide People Power about the documentary Beyond Conspiracy, 25 years after the